Laughs of Redemption. Episode 3, solo episode number 3. I have yet to have any guests on. Tell me how you enjoyed the cackle at the beginning of that. I'm practicing different flavors of cackles. I've been cackling as different characters for a long time, since like 2009. And I'd like to say I have a pretty good cackle. I mean, I fall flat every once in a while, but you know. Anyway, so let me know how you like the cackle. Should I use it? Should I distort it? Should I do that? You know, it's my Laugh of Redemption podcast. Any suggestions? I don't have an official opening song or anything yet. If anyone's interested in helping me out with that, have any ideas, I will gladly welcome them. Okay, so today, May 20th, 2024, Monday, May 20th, 2024. I have a few notes. I'm going to try to follow them. I tend to ramble and ADHD and squirrel my way up and down the trees of thought. Okay. So today, let's start with, today was my first, well actually, you know, let me think here. Let's start off with this, let's see. Yeah, screw it. Okay, let's start off. My day today, I've been wanting to do, everybody's into the cold plunge, right? Everybody's doing the cold plunges, and Joe Rogan's talking about them, and I can't think of anybody else, but that's the first person that pops in my head when I think of cold plunge. I have a friend that does it, an old coworker. He does a cold plunge, and I've been wanting to do it, but I haven't been wanting to spend the money. I don't have a fenced-in yard. There's no awning, there's no porch, it's just a flat wall of a house all the way around. So, I live in a Lego block, basically. So today, I mean, I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I've been wanting to do it, even if I just, you know, got up and did the cold bath. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and Lord knows how many episodes I've tried to fit in of Joe Rogan since I started listening to him in 2020. On top of whatever comes out. I listened to a lot of this past weekend. I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan Experience. Sometimes Two Bears, One Cave. Sometimes Your Mom's House. Sometimes some Jordan Peterson. And there's a whole bunch of other ones sprinkled in. There's tons of great podcasts out there to listen to, and I'm into it. I got on the bandwagon, I guess, a little bit late in the game. Well, definitely with having one, obviously. But start around 2020, when people were gearing up for election time, is when I was introduced to whatever particular interview on the Joe Rogan Experience. And from that moment on, I started hopping around and listening to different people, and then I start finding out about more people. Then I start listening to more comedians, and I've always loved comedy, and I've always liked stand-up. Comedy is one of my favorite movie genres. I've always loved to laugh, which I probably mentioned on my previous podcast. But this year, I have thought about doing stand-up before. I always thought it would be cool. I never knew how to do it. And I want to give a shout-out to a comedian who gave me the encouragement to try an open mic. I've done 4. I've only done 4. January 11th, 2024 is my first one. It's May 20th, 2024. I've only done 4. I've had a hard time getting to them. I lost all of my material on this app that I was using to write my material on. So I learned my lesson there. I need to either write it down or put it on something that is not going to fail as an app, because this app called Laugh Draft, I was using it and I really enjoyed the layout of it. I really enjoyed the one moment, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. My TV in the other room started to play. Okay, so where am I? I was... Oh yeah, 4 open mics. So I've done 4 open mics, and I lost all my material. This app called Laugh Draft, they had different prompts to like challenge you, and you had so many minutes to like do the prompt. I did like 1 or 2 of those, but I liked that they were there and available to use. And then they had like a free write thing where you could just title it, write your thoughts or your idea or your bit or your whatever, and save it. And I had just all these like little thoughts and ideas, some bits completely written out, some that needed like edited, and then one day I go in to look at all my saved work and gone. Gonzo. Just full on blue curvy nosed Muppet. I was so not happy about it. So that's that. So trying to remember all of that. I'm sure if there's anybody who writes anything really, and you lose it the first time, that you lose that first round of that first draft, it is just almost impossible to write exactly what you wrote when you were in that zone. It sucks. All right, so if you can relate to that, also shoot me a comment. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, so the cold plunge. So today, anyway, I've been thinking about this whole cold plunge thing, and I've been wanting to do it. And I've been trying to get my shit together when it comes to, like, doing all the right things. I was, like, getting back to doing some of the right things I was doing at one point, doing more of the right things I want to do. I've been under a lot of stress off and on. I know a lot of people are, obviously, but, you know, my particular story, I only know me. And it's just been a ride. Yeah, like the wild mouse over here. Yeah, like the Rotor, if you know what that is. Look, when you're like stuck to the walls. I never actually rode that, but in real life, I feel like stuck to the wall, spinning around in circles. Stuck and spinning at the same time. But, so, I don't know. Today, I've also had this tension headache that I've been dealing with for like 10 days now. I went to the ER Friday night after work. They offered a trigger point injection, but I didn't take it. I will consider that in the near future, possibly, if this doesn't work out. But, so that's been a pain in the head, neck area. And, okay, so I woke up this morning, and it's funny, because, like, you hear, I'm probably, like, I listen to a lot of the positive things that people say within the podcasts I listen to, or therapists I talk to, and I try to hold on to all those things that resonate with me, as most of us do. Try to hold on to those things you resonate with. And the one thing that has replayed over the past couple of years is, like, there's that voice in your head like David Goggins says, like, there's that voice in my head every day. It's like, you don't want to do it. And then the other voice is like, shut up, bitch. Get up and just fucking do it, or whatever. So that's what I did today, because I think about running I don't have an actual cold plunge, but I was like, I could at least take a cold bath and start off doing that once in a while. So I had that voice today, and I was like thinking like the same thing, like, yeah, I should get up and not sleep in, do it. And then my dog came in to wake me up, as she does most of the time if I don't get up at a certain time. And I was like, yeah, I'll just get up. And I don't know, it wasn't really premeditated or anything. I just kind of said I'm gonna do it today, and I didn't like get over excited about it. I didn't I just did it. Like, I just went in. I was like, I'm just gonna turn the cold water on. I had a frozen bottle of water in my freezer, and I know it's not much, but I was like, well, I'm just starting, so we'll see. And it's not like you've never gotten into a pool or some cold water before, but I'm purposely doing this for the purpose of cold plunging, although it's not as cold. So I go, but it's better to start somewhere than nowhere at all, right? So and where's nowhere? I don't know where that is, so I wouldn't be able to start there anyway. So if sorry, I'm writing, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making notes. Okay. All right. I'm actually making a note about what I just said, because it's the first time I ever said it like that, and maybe I can use it in a bit. So, anyway, so where is nowhere? I wouldn't be able to start there anyway. I don't know where it is. So I put the brick ice hard cold water bottle in the bath water and let the cold bath water run, and then I set a timer for 3 minutes. I started it when I got like half submerged, and I leaned forward, and I got the like that breath, that little breath feeling. Like, it wasn't super cold, but it was enough that it was cold enough where it was obviously colder than my body temperature, because it made me like do that little extra breath thing that you do when the water's cold. So I figured, well, it has to be a positive thing if it at least made me do that. So I got in, and then I just submerged forward. I have a soaking tub, but it's not like I can't completely get in, completely submerged, but mostly. And so I went forward first, and then I did that for a little bit. Oops, I'm sorry. I hit my mic. And then I laid back and went laid up to my neck. And then I laid there for a while, and it did start to become a little more comfortable, because, again, it's not ice cold water, but it was cool. It was definitely cool. I didn't have anything to test the temperature of the water, but I'm just ground floor. Okay. So I did that, and then I went beyond the timer, and I went 4 minutes and 48 seconds before I started to get out. So go me, first day I ever tried cold plunge. I can't really afford to fill my tub up every day and do that every day, so it might be like a once a week thing, or a once in a while thing, but you got to start at least somewhere. Anyway, so I did that today. So I started my day off with that, took a shower. Then I had planned on doing this podcast. And it is now 12 a.m. So I started just a little bit before midnight. And the whole day I ended up like doing a whole bunch of little like things, chipping away at a bunch of little things around the house. And then I had to help my neighbor pick up her car from... Well, she had to, I had to run her a couple places, so that it had all to do with like her car inspection or something. Anyway, so did that, and I started on a costume for the haunt that I work for. And well, I did like an extra step to it, so I had like a basic step done. Then I went one step further and made like the frame of it, and now I have to figure out how I'm going to do the rest. I'm not much of a builder, but I'm more of like, I can figure some things out, but I'm more like, I don't know, aesthetic. I can do the aesthetic stuff a little better. So I did that, and then I went to EMDR therapy. EMDR therapy, eye movement. I always forget what the D stands for. Let's see. We'll just look it up. I don't have a young Jamie or an old Jamie. I don't have any Jamies. So I have to. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing is what it stands for. It's a type, the definition on Google says a type of psychotherapy that involves moving your eyes in a specific way while processing traumatic memories. It's basically what you do when you're processing. It's intended to help you heal from trauma or other distressing life experiences. And it works. My therapist tells me I'm very visual when we do it. Like I guess I'm more visual than a lot of people. It's almost like it almost recreates a dream, or it creates this additional memory which takes your current knowledge and wisdom that you've accumulated since you were whatever age you were when the specific, or whatever space you were in when the specific trauma happened. Or maybe you weren't even just able to incorporate your wisdom and knowledge and growth within that moment. Then you process that moment, and it kind of does, like, you talk about it, then while you're doing the eye movement with your therapist, you just think about how you felt in that moment, and just kind of, you have to like kind of let go as much as you can, and just let whatever, because if you think too much, like you're holding yourself back. So it is so cool. There's like a hair on me and it's driving me nuts. It's so cool. I've recreated some interesting images in my head. And some of them, I mean, you don't even expect. You don't really, it's almost, yeah, there's just like new things happening and you're like, oh. And sometimes you're just having feelings or certain thoughts that are going along, new thoughts associated with that old memory. So it's really cool. It's very, very interesting, and highly recommended. Even if you're just working, if you might think, oh, well, I wasn't physically abused, and and nobody like left me out on the street to fend for myself, like all these extreme circumstances. I grew up with both my parents in the house. I mean, I didn't grow up in the best area, but my parents were together and still are, but there were still things that weren't healthy happening. And then, lack of certain nurturing. Not that I'm faulting. I'm trying to get over, like, the part of, like, not of being, like, I don't know, angry about it, I guess, or upset about it. And getting to that accepting part, and it's so hard. Like, you can say it, that, like, I know I should do this or do that, but it's like, it's not easy, but you have to keep working to get there. So maybe this will help me too, just talking about it out loud. If you have ever had an experience with EMDR, that would be cool. If you have any questions to ask me about my experiences with EMDR, or you would like me to share some of my experiences with my EMDR therapy, I'll do that. Just let me know in the comments. Also, let me think. There's also just real quick though, there's brain spotting too, which was, brain spotting was discovered through somebody who was utilizing EMDR therapy. I've done one brain spotting session with a friend of mine who's a brain spotting therapist who owns a business called Impart Clarity. Her name is Tanya Bashor. It's Bashor. Tanya, Tanya, Tanya Bashor. Impart Clarity. Look it up. She's excellent. Highly recommend her. She's caring. She will, like, ask you, make sure that you're serious. She has certain requirements to start going through the therapy with her, and she's a narcissistic trauma-informed coach. She has hypnotherapy certification. She has, I think, a level 2 brain spotting therapy certification now. She may be more than that now, but I think she's she's gone to a next level since she's done it with me. So anyway, she's awesome. She is also on my last podcast that I started. There's only a handful of episodes. It's called Don't Be a Taco Podcast, and all the episodes are on YouTube, including hers. And she explains what she does with her therapy sessions, and she also hosts a lot of retreats. So that's something else. If you look her up, like, she also does retreats if you're into that. So anyway, moving on. I didn't do processing today. We did more we talked about some things that I've been going through. So sometimes it's sessions where you're talking and trying to figure out where the processing of it portion should be focused on. Let's see. Okay. So the next thing that I have here is my latest watched podcasts, my latest watched pods. I was with the tension headache thing, I relaxed all day Saturday and I watched a few. And Joe Rogan Experience with Sebastian Maniscalco, watched that. It's funny to see, I can say this because I'm Italian, 2 Dagos that actually aren't like the same. But it's just, it was just funny because like I understood why Sebastian was saying what he was saying, and he was just he had to explain like just for the sake of comedy, and I found it amusing. And Joe was like, but no, if you do take the vitamins and the supplements, which we all love Joe and most of us, and CNN. But anyway, it was just funny to hear them back and forth, and I read one comment about on the YouTube video. Somebody said that it sounds like there should be a bada bing after everything Sebastian says, which is funny, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed as somebody with a lot of Italian blood. I enjoyed watching these two guys talk. So anyway, let's see. The other one I watched, but this wasn't Saturday. This was a while ago, maybe a week ago or two. I finished watching Theo Vaughn's This Past Weekend with Tim Fletcher. Highly recommend that one. He's a trauma coach or therapist, and Tim Fletcher. I haven't gotten into any of his stuff. I haven't gone down his own personal rabbit hole yet, but he explained things so well. That was a very interesting episode of This Past Weekend. Definitely check that one out. Then for me, the biggest one that I don't know what the last one was that really hit me like this, but this just posted on Saturday, and I was hoping that this man would be on the Joe Rogan Experience at some point, was Terrence Howard. If you don't know who Terrence Howard is, he is an actor. I'm sure if you see his face, you will recognize him from a movie or Empire. I never watched Empire, but I saw plenty of trailers and ads and stuff for it. But I know him from movies I've watched. And then I want to say like a year ago, give or take, I saw him pop up on YouTube. I don't know if I found it myself or somebody may have mentioned it. I think I found it myself. He was at Oxford University giving a speech and requesting the word he used in the video and when he was talking to the people at Oxford was audit. And he thinks that the world of math should be challenged or audited or given a look at, a second see. And he explains, and he's going to do a way better job than me, so definitely go over to... the best one is the Joe Rogan Experience that just posted this Saturday with Terrence Howard. It's a lot, but he is given the opportunity to take the time to explain in detail, way more detail than the Oxford speech, his memories from being in the womb and when he was a child and the flower of life that he's been in tune with since he was like 3 or something. And this man has 97 patents from what I understand. He developed a new form of flight that will help, that he wants to reach out to Elon Musk because he wants to help Elon get up to the atmosphere. And, you can correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but like the layer of surrounding the Earth where all the asteroids and stuff are, that Elon supposedly, like, he wants to clean all that up to protect Earth. And he thinks that the way Elon's going about it's not going to work, and he's created this three-dimensional way of flying so that these asteroids can be carried out away from us, picked up and carried away. It's innovative. It's the most innovative talk. All the ideas and the things that he's coming up with and working on and getting these doctors to work on with him, and he's working on could change everything. And it sounds crazy, but any brilliant person that comes up with something that everybody else in the world has not figured out is always going to seem crazy because it's outside of the realms of most people's ability to comprehend. I'm desperately trying to, and I'm understanding as he's, a lot of it, not every single thing. Like, I don't even know if I want to say a lot of it, but like, I get it enough to what he's saying that it's like, this, like, a lot of this makes sense. A lot of this makes sense. And you really open your mind up and not get stuck to whatever thing. His new way of thinking when it comes to math, science, the periodic table, how he relates tones, frequencies, color, and elements, and explains I don't know if saying three-dimensional structure is correct, but and I'm not a big science freak, and I have an associate's degree in hospitality management. Okay, but I listen to a lot of things, and I read a little bit. I mostly like to podcasts and books, and I've look up an occasional article here and there, but go watch this. Don't just listen. I mean, listening's great. If you can't watch it, listen to it. But like, he has actual models on the podcast. He puts them all on the desk, on Joe's desk. He has them all out, and he shows you a lot of things, and they only get into just the outer crust of this stuff. Nowhere near getting to the cream filling. You know what I mean? Like it's. I mean, the one comment Joe makes during the podcast is, "This could be an 80-hour podcast," and I was ready to sit there for 80 fucking hours and watch that podcast because I was very intrigued, extremely intrigued. Terrence Howard, if you ever happen to listen to this episode of Laughs of Redemption, I have some ailments, and I will volunteer myself to science for you if you need a volunteer. Because he's working on these frequencies to. Sorry, that was my phone. He's working on these frequencies to. These frequencies to like potentially cure cancer, and I'm sorry, my phone's being stupid. I'm trying to turn it down so in case it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it is. I'm gonna get past this. I know I'm going on and on about this, but I will probably watch it again It's a little over 3 hours. He invited him back on, and I am hoping that it doesn't take too long for him to go back on there, because I was hoping for like a Kevin Smith type of thing where it was just gonna be like, let's make another, like let's go right into part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4, like let's do it, because I want to hear what all he has to say. So that's that. Please go watch that. Please open your mind. Watch that. Speaking of opening minds, I know you shouldn't talk about politics or religion, but guess what? I like talking about politics and religion sometimes. But the only thing I'm going to say is, I know this, I'm just going from one thing to another. But the only thing I'm going to say is, do not trap yourself or allow yourself, do not allow yourself to be trapped by propaganda and the current administration, the previous administration, or these blue and red parties to make you think that there is no other way. Everybody, especially people who are, I'm 43, all right? Everybody who's older than me, especially, and even people younger than me, once they've married themselves to this party, and at one point I thought I was married to a party, and then I realized, I started finding more things out and opening my mind up, and it was hard. It's a jagged little pill, to quote Alanis Morissette's wonderful album. Thank you, Dave Coulier. To swallow. It's like a big black cocky dildo. It's like to swallow once you've already thought in your head, you've already got this thing in your head, you've gone years being, I'm going to register as this party, and those are the good guys, and the other ones are the bad guys. So hear me out. Please, I don't care how far left or how far right you are. Red and blue make purple. Okay? So, and I know independents are yellow, but whatever. So anyway, red and blue make purple. And the majority of you people out there are more shades of purple than you are red or blue. Okay? And do not allow these people to think that you will waste your vote if you switch to a third party and vote for that third party. Because without trying to, this is the time. I need to make this statement in this. This is the time to do that now. Like, this is the time to make that work. This is now the time where we truly have a representative of someone who wants to take out the corporate hold that is holding us back and dumbing us down and making us sick. Please, please, please consider. Do your research. Give people who are not left or right the opportunity to hear their voice. Listen. Lend the ear. Take a deep breath. Forget about all the stuff you need to feel right. You don't want to back down and say you were wrong or whatever. Who cares? It's the same thing with the vaccinated, non-vaccinated stuff. Who cares? Like, whatever decision you made, and it's It's okay. Some people felt forced to do that. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. But ultimately, all I want to say is, please, please, please consider 2024 the time to take part in what would be one of the most important turning points in the United States of America. Do listen. Do listen. And sometimes you need to look outside yourself. Ask people in other countries who they would vote for if they were in America. Not Russia. Don't ask Russia. Don't ask Russia. Don't ask Ukraine. Don't ask China. Ask everybody else. Don't ask those 3 countries or continent. Leave those ones alone. Ask everybody else. And just because it's the same thing as we're in a relationship with this. We're in a relationship with this. So please try to let go of some things, and I don't think I need to mention whatever those specific things, because it's going to be different for everybody. And I'm sure whenever I say that, those things that you would need to let go immediately pop in your head. Almost immediately pop in your head. Please, 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 just give it a shot. Give it a chance. Because this is the strongest I've ever felt about a person running for an important position. And not just the country, but the world. So, that's all I'm asking. You're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to, and that's fine. But I'm just putting this PSA out there. Is it a PSA? I don't know. Did I say that right? Public service announcement. Yes, PSA. Okay. Yes. It's not a PSA, pissed off son of an asshole. I don't know what else PSA could stand for. Please send accompaniment. Please send your ass to the voting poll and make the biggest difference. Thank you. Okay, so now that we're past that, I've been receiving these. You know what? We're gonna take a pause on what I was about to do, and I am going to introduce songs stuck in my head of the day. And my friend, one of my best friends, and who I call my sister, we have like an ongoing 14-year conversation, and it hops from one app to another, to a text to whatever, and it's just like ongoing. And today she started talking to somebody new, and she's into them, and she sends me this YouTube link or whatever, and she goes, I love all the new music that he's introducing to me. And I'm like, it's Jason Mraz. I'm like, you don't know who Jason Mraz is? And she was like, no, I don't think. I was like, well, I don't know if she said something like, should I, or something like that. I was like, well, yeah, because you've been friends with me. So, so that was, that was funny. Yeah, I said, I'm looking at it. I said, you never heard of Jason Mraz? She said, I don't think so, and laughed. I said, I swear you have heard it because you hung out with me. So anyway, I sent her a couple of my favorite Jason Mraz songs. The one she sent me was Butterfly, and And it was just funny because he's like all this new music that he's introducing me to, and it's just so cute because it's so adorable because that's how you feel when someone that you're into, whether it be a friend, a boyfriend, a potential boyfriend, just someone that inspires you in some kind of way, whether it's through your heart, through your spirit. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. Through your spirit, through your mind, intellectually. When they introduce you to something that's new to you, or maybe they reintroduce you to something that maybe you didn't pay a lot of attention to before. It has such a more significant meaning because it's attached to this wonderful, beautiful feeling that you have. So like, and one of the things that pops in my head when I say that is I had this friend who will always mean the world to me, that we had this friendship for a period of time. And he plays the song Hook by Blues Traveler. And he knew all the words, and he tells me what the song was actually about. So when I was younger, yeah, I liked it. I heard it on the radio all the time. You know, I was young when it came out. I was like a teenager or whatever when it came out in the 90s. And once I found out that he's talking about it doesn't matter what I say, as long as I sing it with inflection, as long as I have that hook, you're gonna come. You'll be hooked in. You'll come back. It doesn't matter what I say in the song, as long as I sing it the right way and I have the hook that you like, you'll just be hooked. And I immediately became inspired because I liked that. I liked the idea, and the fact that he knew all the words, and I never learned all the words. I repeated that song over and over and over again. I wrote them down, copied and pasted them into my notes, read them while I sang it until I could sing that whole every word of the song and the fast rappy part, in the third verse. So now I pretty much know all the words to that song. And that was like almost 3 years ago. 2.5, something like that. So anyway, today, when I'm talking to my friend about Jason Mraz, I sent her a couple songs. And of course I'm like, well, you have to know this one. This was the most popular one. I'm Yours. Oh, the dude, I'm running, but I felt it. I tried to reach it, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the glass. So I'm trying to get back before the cool don't run out, and I'll be giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn so, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. This cannot wait. I'm yours. There's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. Do 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 do. Scooch on over closer, dear, and I will nibble your ear. I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer, but my breath fogged up the glass. So I drew a new face and I laughed. And guess what I'll be saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue. And I'll stop. Okay, so I might have gone on a little too long there. I was having a little too much fun. Anyway, goodness gracious, I keep hitting this mic today. I apologize if that hurts your ear. I will not be doing editing. So the only editing there will be is to add maybe some pictures or something to put on the screen. I'm always at ground zero. I feel like maybe that's what I should have called it, ground zero. I'm always at ground zero doing things. So, but I keep doing them. So, okay. All right, enough babbling. Kill Tony was good tonight. I watched that. That was real good. It's always real good. It's fun. It's such a fun show to watch. I wish I would have known. I wish I was into and would have known about these podcasts like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years, even 6 years ago, even just a few more years. But I mean, I just, yeah. So anyway, I really want to go to Austin and go see Kill Tony, sign up, maybe get on. I don't know. I'll probably bomb, but maybe I won't. So, yes. So I watched that. Tonight's panel of Kill Tony was 3 of the regulars. Was William Montgomery, Cam Patterson, which I have one of his rocks that I got from him when I went to go see Tony Hinchcliffe. Cam Patterson was there, and I was front row, dead center, and I had roses for all of them. So if Cam or Hans Kim or Tony Hinchcliffe or who else was there? Those were the 3. They took roses. D. Jolly didn't take a rose from me, so I gave it to the couple next to me. And if they ever listen to this, I'm the flower girl from Pittsburgh. But yes. So where are we at here? I'm trying to find. Okay, so I get this email daily from the 1440, and that's what it's called, the 1440. It's a news, I don't want to say station. It's like a new, I don't know if you even know, it's wouldn't even call it an app per se. But it's a news thing that's like non-biased. They don't give, well, I don't read every single day, but they just give the news and what's gone on. And they don't like include their opinions. So that's cool. So let's see. Okay, now I know technically it's after midnight, so it's the 21st, but we're going with May 20th. And I just want to kind of go over some of these, give you guys a little news update per the 1440. Shout out to them. Let's see. Need to know. Iranian president presumed dead. Helicopter carrying Iranian president Ibrahim, forgive me if I say this wrong, Ibrahim Raisi and other officials crashed yesterday in dense fog, leaving no survivors, according to state media. Vice President Mohammed Mokhbar is poised to assume the presidency, pending approval from Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The country has 50 days to organize new elections. Let's see. Raisi, known to critics as the Butcher of Tehran, was one of the 4 judges who oversaw the execution of thousands of political prisoners in 1988. Following the Iran-Iraq War, After leading the judiciary race, he became president in 2021, known for cracking down on protesters, enforcing strict dress rules for women, and a confrontational approach to the West and Israel. A protege of Khomeini, I'm sorry if I don't say this right. Khamenei's, Khameni apostrophe S. Khamenei's Raisi was considered a top candidate to eventually succeed the 85-year-old leader. There was a convoy of 3 helicopters returning from a visit to Azerbaijan to inaugurate a joint dam project when his helicopter crashed over the mountainous region of northern Iran. If we had an Iran, we would probably know more, right? Anyway, so stupid. Historic space flight. This is the next article. Let's see. Space tourism company Blue Origin successfully carried 6 passengers just past the edge of space yesterday. Just past the edge of space. I go past the edge of space every day. There's some space over there. I go past it. I go through it. Around it. I don't know. I invade it. Its first successful crewed launch since its New Shepard rockets were grounded over safety concerns 2 years ago. The group included 90-year-old Ed Dwight, a former Air Force captain who was NASA's first black astronaut candidate in the early 1960s. Dwight, who was ultimately never selected for crew NASA missions, became the oldest person to enter space. Cool. So you can be old and 90 years old and go to space. It's okay. NASA approved. Anyway, let's see. Led by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin focuses on recreational voyages, ferrying paying passengers just past the edge of space, 62 miles above the Earth's surface. The crew capsule rides a reusable rocket up and parachutes back down. The whole journey lasts about 10 minutes, and there's footage. Let's click on that. That's, I don't know if you can hear that, but that is, okay. Astronaut Ed Dwight. This is on the Sign News channel. They were showing him get out of the capsule, exiting the capsule. 90 years old. He is so happy. His tongue's hanging out. He's tasting. He might take a good look of that space air. Yeah, he's real happy. Yeah, maybe I'll. That's cool. Okay. So that's cool. He got to go to space after a long time of waiting. Let's see. Israeli cabinet pressure. Israeli war cabinet member Benny Gantz threatened to quit if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, I don't know. Again, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, does not advance a plan for post-war Gaza by June 8th. If Gantz quits, Netanyahu's coalition would collapse, prompting early elections. Gantz's demands are sixfold. Demilitarize Gaza and prioritize the release of the Israeli hostages remaining in the territory, return an estimated 60,000 Israeli civilians to their homes near the Lebanese border by September, advance a normalization deal with Saudi Arabia, form a Palestinian governing body in Gaza, with Western and Arab oversight and end military service exemptions for Orthodox Jews. I'm not really completely up on the whole thing. I just wish. This sounds like they're trying to figure something out. These are demands, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a solid opinion on any of that. It just all seems bad. I just hope they stop fighting and figure something out. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, I don't have a solid one on that. Let's see. Stay salty. Zero sugar hydration. This must be their little, it's like something that they have like yeah, we don't need that. Let's see here. These are just all the people that have contributed. Yeah, so that's what's on it today. Sometimes they have like some like offbeat, like not all about the Middle East and wars and stuff. Sometimes they have like a few stories that are, let's see, where's yesterday's? Scotty Scheffler arrested. Number one golfer Scotty Scheffler was arrested yesterday and charged with assault of a police officer ahead of playing the second round of the 2024 PGA Championship in Louisville, Kentucky. Let's see. 27-year-old golf star was driving. I think we all know this happened, or not. Well, I don't know all the details, but 27-year-old golf star was driving into Valhalla Golf Club. You know what? That reminds me of an interesting. Like I helped name somebody's kid, and I've only met them one time in my life, and I was at a friend's party, and they were like friends of my friend. And it was a couple, and they were getting ready to have a kid, and they were talking about what name they were looking for, and it was going to be a son. And then my friend that I was with, my girlfriend, she said something. He said he wanted it to mean, I don't know, I forget, like light or God or something like that. And she says Dario. And Dario, let's see. Let's Google it. The name Dario is Christian male name of Italian origin that means upholder of the good or one who possesses goodness. Latin for Darius. Okay, so he liked that. And then I said Valhalla for the middle. He's like, what about the middle? I said Valhalla means heaven. And yeah, Norse mythology, Valhalla is the hall of Odin where the souls of heroes who have died in battle are received. So it's like the heaven of the Vikings. Which that's a great show. Vikings is a wonderful show. If you haven't watched that series, get on it. Anyway, so he goes, I love that. He's like, that's what I'm good at. We learned it. We're gonna name our kid Dario Valhalla. Blah blah blah. And usually people are just saying it because they're just sitting around having a couple of drinks, having a good time or whatever. Well, months down the road, I see my friend, a Snapchat of my friend holding a baby, and it's like it wasn't hers. It was like somebody, her friend's baby. And I was like, I messaged her. I said, what did they name? She was like, I don't know. It's something different. I was like, is it Dario Valhalla? And she's like, yeah, that sounds like it. And I was like, oh, I helped name someone's kid. I named another human's baby. I find that so amusing. Okay, I like naming things, but I never thought I'd ever take part in naming someone's child. That's a big deal. And I've never seen them again. I've never seen them. Okay, so
This is the way.
oh, I thought I turned it down, but I guess it's still there.
This is the way.
Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. I was just looking to see if there was anything more interesting. So yeah, the song of the did I even say that? I said the song of the day was "I'm Yours," and I did sing it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, well, my brain's getting tired. I saw a clip on YouTube of Ryan Gosling, and I feel really bad that I can't remember the other guy's name, but they were dressed up as Beavis and Butthead and crashed a red carpet interview thing. And whoever, I forget the guy, and I feel so bad not remembering his name, but he's a known actor. He looks right into the camera. He's dressed as Butthead. And it's so disappointing when you read comments and they're like, "Oh my God, when Beavis looked right into the camera," and that's how you read it. That's how I read it in my head. Like that's what it sounds like. That's what that comment sounds like in my head. And I had to. I couldn't help myself, but I had to correct them. I'm like, that's Butthead. That's not Beavis. And it's just, it feels, I know I'm not going to know everything of it. Like somebody who was born in 1950 or 1960, obviously. But it just feels like there's such a disconnect when something like that happens and you don't even know which one's Beavis and which one's Butthead. Especially when you're making a comment about it. But anyway, I digress. All right. So that was my March 20th. I got some grass cut, the neighbor's grass cut. I watched Kill Tony. I did my cold bath half-ass plunge thing. I'm proud of that. I did do a little bit of yoga. I got interrupted when I was halfway done. And so I got a few other little things here and there done. So I have a date tomorrow in the morning for coffee. I'm meeting somebody. So we will see how that goes. And that's it. I am going to stick a fork in this. I am done. Okay. Laughs of Redemption, episode 3 is now over. Peace out, all you boy and girl scouts. Rainbow trouts. People with big snouts. People on the outs. All right. Anyway, love you. Take care of yourself. Be happy, healthy, and safe. Do your affirmations. Say your prayers. Do your meditations. Plunge in something cold. Soak in something hot. Move. Get out there and move. Enjoy the sun when you can. Be thankful for all the good days and the bad days. And I love you. God bless.